Okay, and that is one of the aspects that we had talked about yesterday. We had alluded to what homologous structures were. We said, look at that figure. Each and every one of them, especially, you could say the horse, the cat, and the porcupine. All three of those structures would be used for what? What do we read in this paragraph here? Yeah, walking, for movement from point A to point B. Okay, so they would have derived from a common ancestor, which means the reason I took Angus off of here, or cattle, when you look at what a crocodile is as opposed to what that of domesticated animal would be, you have a carnivore and an herbivore. And to me, that just didn't make any sense, because if we're talking about evolving from a common ancestor, now we've both got, you could say a vicious carnivore, I don't know. To me, that's how I would look at it. When we get to that dinosaur video, or before the dinosaurs, it's called a gorgonopsid. That's probably one of the very earliest ancestors of both of these animals. Now, that's neither here nor there, but we'll get to it at that point. Now, for chicken and poultry, or the Cooper's hawk, what would they have in common? Who may they have evolved from? We talked about it today. It's a really hard word to say. Starts with the letter A. Someone take a stab at it. Say it again. Yeah. Archaeopteryx. That's right. So with that, these would have evolved 4 limbs and wings. And what are these used for? For flight. Okay? Which would certainly make sense. And then over here, again, legs would be used for walking, like what you had just said. Okay, so that does it for homologous structures. Now we're just going to take a little bit of time for a paragraph of analogous structures. When we get this wrote down, I think you'll see it makes more sense. Okay, on page 426, analogous structures. Not all anatomically similar features are evidence of common ancestry. Analogous structures can be used for the same purpose and can be superficially similar in construction but are not inherited from a common ancestor, as shown in figure 7. The wings of an eagle and the wings of a dragonfly have the similar function. They both enable organisms to fly. However, the wings are constructed in different ways and from different materials. While the analogous structures do not indicate close evolutionary relationships, they do show that functionally similar features can evolve independently in similar environments. The key there is independent. Flight has evolved 4 different times as far as we know. That's why you see 4 lines here. So, just take a guess. There's 4 different types of animals we're going to talk about that would fly. And they're totally unrelated from one another. You got to think way back in time. And there is some up there on the back wall. Say that again? Me? Yes. You're right, but I have no idea how to spell it. There is a silent P. I was wondering about that. Okay, so help me out there. PT. I suppose that. I think YL. We'll go with that. Okay, pterodactyl. Okay. Then it's one of the animals that you see there on page 428. 426, sorry. Who would have come first between those two? Who would have come first? Yeah. So therefore, insects. You want to say dragonfly or insects? Insects. Okay. Now the other animal. There's no way you would have known that. It was a 50-50 guess. At least you're trying. Okay. So who would be next then? Now you can use, you want bald eagle or birds? Birds is fine. And then this one you might need to think a little bit with, because notice we're talking about reptiles. To me, I think that's safe with dinosaurs. We see arthropods or insects. We see birds, which is a vertebrate. There is one more vertebrate that can fly. And if you think about it, I think you'll get the swing of it. Someone knows the answer. Just say, I don't want to say that because I might sound silly. I kind of gave you a little bit of a pun there, maybe. Nope, they would be birds. And it's a mammal. Someone knows the answer. I know you know the answer. The trouble is trying to come up with these questions just right off like this. It's a mammal. And then when you tell you and go, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Owls are still birds. It's a specific mammal. Not Dumbo. I could have swore you said elephants.
Humans.
No. No. It's even on the previous page. Okay, hang on. What we're trying to illustrate here, there were structures that were so successful that they evolved 4 different times in 4 totally different types of species. Reptiles, arthropods, early vertebrates, which you could say are birds, and then some of the later vertebrates, which are maybe mammals, if you want to look at it that way. Okay, so I would venture to believe that next week we set a due date of vocabulary as the 12th, correct? Okay? Yes, that would be Wednesday. Okay? So keep that in mind. Then, let's say 10 terms. But on the 13th, the following day, 10 questions, but probably 12 terms. Make sense? Okay. So then I will give you a little more direction on before the dinosaurs next week. It's something that you're going to want to fill out as we go. This is a very large chapter in case you haven't figured that out already. It's a lot of material. That's why we're breaking it up into different pieces. Any questions proceeding forward? All right, we'll catch up to you next time.